Are you tired, bored, already finished all of the episodes of Tiger King and Dr. Pimple Popper? Well, then you might be suffering from what experts are calling quarantine fatigue. Um, Seriously, what is happening? This video is for everyone who is not nailing it at quarantine. If you are getting close to running a half marathon and losing tons of weight, this video is not for you. If you are living your best life and being more productive than you've ever been, this video is also not for you. If you have screamed at your significant other recently, or decided you are somehow worth less because they have adjusted the pillows on the couch, this video is for you. Hi. I just felt called to talk to people who are struggling, and I know that people say that a lot, and but I think it's something that I feel like I'm very lucky in my life, and I just want to say to people that they are not alone. If they feel like, why am I not more productive during quarantine, and what is happening with my life, and what is my life now that I'm not working or I'm not showing up the way I used to show up, and people who are struggling with that, I think let's have a conversation about it, everyone, because it just feels like, here's 10 things to do with your quarantine. And it's like, oh yeah, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. And I feel like I've heard so many people talking about how much they should be doing. And after organizing their closets and cleaning out different items, then they're feeling maybe like, what do we do now? Or at least I'll speak for myself and say that I am in this weird place of feeling, what am I without a job? What am I without the work that I do? And of course, I know and have often talked about that we are not our jobs. We are not what we do in this world, of course. And I think conceptually, I know that. But to think about now not having work, I feel like I'm going bonkers. And I think it just speaks to how much we are so addicted to going, and doing. And it's what Brene Brown talks about as, what does she say? Exhaustion as a status symbol, and productivity as, what is it? I feel like I have it here somewhere. And productivity as self-worth. And that is the big crisis that we're kind of in right now, where we're not being as productive, or some of us. I'm sure plenty of you are being productive, and I'm proud of you. But that feeling of like, I'm an overproducer, I'm a doer, and I work 60 hours a week, or will have 7 different projects happening at once, and now everything is stopped. And that feeling of, what do I do if I am not producing? What does that mean about me? Who am I? Do I have any value? And I just want to voice that, because I feel like so many people are feeling it, and so I want to start the conversation about it. And I have thought I was worthless because my significant other adjusted the pillows on the couch, and so I felt like, well, if I didn't get to that, and I didn't get to that fast enough, then I must be worthless, and like all these weird thoughts that I just never pictured myself thinking about or freaking out about. And this feeling of grief, I think this grief of like the old self dying, and the old paradigm dying, is hard and feels like grief. It feels like it comes in waves, and feels like I have days where I do better than other days, and days when I cry for what feels like no reason, and I'm not sure why I'm crying, or I just am crying over the smallest thing because I feel so like my emotions and everything is right at the surface. Um, and I just am like, what are some other instances of crazy things? Oh, like anybody want to kill the people that they live with, or at least have them shipped off somewhere far, far away for a while. Um, Other instances, oh, like begging, looking at my dog's eyes and just begging them, please, please take this pill for my sake. Please go to sleep. Please stay down. Please, like just that feeling of desperation. And this poor dog is like, what's wrong with you? I'm losing it. Um, and what are other things? I wrote down a couple. Uh, oh, yeah, like I think I had this list of things that I've always said to myself, if I had more time, I would blank. And now we have more time. And I think if you're not doing blank, whatever blank was for you, or how many ever blanks there were, then I feel like a failure. And I feel like at the end of quarantine, so many of us are looking to have something, like have lost weight, have gotten a good practice of routine, have gotten, into macrame, have started writing books, or whatever the case may be. And that feeling of pressure that once this is over, which by the way, is a fantasy too. But once this is over, then I'm supposed to have produced something. I'm supposed to have amassed something. And I think we think of life that way a lot too. Once this is over, once this journey is done, I want to have done something, said something, been something, meant something. And that pressure is insane. And we put it so much on ourselves, of course, and socially we're trained. And so I think we're in this rare time of those things are dying, and what that looks like, if we just are. Like, there's the phrase of we're human beings, not human doings. And here we are, not able to do. And I feel like it's such a struggle to just be. And I know that it's a practice, and I realize that, and I've done so many spiritual classes on all of that. So I thought, quarantine, I'll be amazing in quarantine. And, and again, that feeling of failure, like, oh, well, I'll meditate for 8 hours. I'll become enlightened. I will, rise to the top of my game. I'll write 20 books. I'll become a novelist. I'll do all these things that I thought I would be able to easily do. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, I think I'm in this period of grief. I think I'm in this place of mourning, and mourning this idea of get up, go to work, do, and sort of react to my life. And so I'm grieving that, and I'm in mourning. I also think that this is a journey that's going to go on much longer than we think. And it feels a little bit like, oh, it's going to be ending soon. It'll be over soon. It's almost done soon. But that preparing for it as a journey as opposed to a destination feels more real and accurate, and feels like that's life. We're very destination oriented. We're very goal oriented. I want to achieve this, and then I can move on to this next thing. I want to do this, and then I have this next thing. And that, we want to grab these things and grab these goals and achieve and achieve and achieve. But there's a journey. And that's what life is, this long journey. And it's not about the achievement. It's not about the goals. It's not about what we've accomplished in our life. It's about the connections, and being without human connection, being without that feeling of heart connections. Speaking of which, my puppy wants to say hi. Hi, puppy. And animals are very present at all times, being 100% present. And so I am just wanting people to know that they're not alone, and to take deep breaths and to be gentle with yourself. Breathe 3 deep breaths and be super gentle with yourself, because you're precious, and please be gentle with those around you, because I think a lot of people are going through this same mourning and this grief and this change of how we've been operating as a society. And I think I was consciously aware of it, but now having been presented with it in such a physical way is very different. And so I think we're all waking up in new ways to what this looks like. And so I just want to mention to people that, I think we're all kind of going through this quarantine fatigue, and we might just be at the beginning. And I know a lot of people feel like we might be at the end, but what if we're at the beginning? And what does that look like? And surrendering to that idea, and then working from there. If it ends earlier, great. But even then, we'll be in a very different world and a very different place. So just, I just want to say that you're not alone. And yeah, and just that it's that idea of failure, I think, too, that I just want to speak to, and that feeling. I love you all. I hope we can all laugh together soon and not digitally together. I hope we can hug soon. I hope all of those things. I hope you are safe and cared for, and I am sending so much love. Thanks.